I watched that stupid View where you have these really dumb people. You know, Whoopi Goldberg said, would you participate in a movie? She made some movie on basketball. This was before I ran for politics. She said, oh, you're so great. If you ever ran for president, you'd win. Politics can do strange things to demented people. Now, I've hired Whoopi to work for me as a comedian before this stuff, and a long time ago. And I went, and, you know, I'm not particularly shy about what I hear. Her mouth was so foul. She was so filthy dirty, disgusting. Half the place left. I said I'd never hire her again. The other one asking the question is dumber than Kamala, so she's a dummy. I watched her over the years. That is one dumb woman.
This is what irritated him. Not what's going on.
Right.
Hurricanes, there's all kind of stuff going on in our country. But we irritated him to the point where he had to admit he does watch the show. Something we all do.
Donald Trump has been obsessively watching Kamala Harris's post-debate media blitz, and he is not happy about it. After seeing her go on The View, Trump got so triggered that he decided the best strategy would be to attack the show's hosts.
Bad, 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 bad. Bad idea.
Let me start by saying, if you're struggling to win the female vote, the last thing you should be doing is attacking women, but hey, no one ever said Trump was a genius. What's that? Trump called himself a stable genius? Oh, God.
I'm a very stable genius.
But don't worry, Donald Trump says that he does very well with the women.
Tonight, what do you say to them about the safety of our homeland?
I say to the women, and I think I do very well with the women, actually. I think it's a lot of fake polling. I think I do very well because I say, I will keep you safe. I'm not going to allow prisoners to come out from Venezuela and many other countries all over the world, the Congo, the Middle East. They come out from the Congo in tremendous numbers. They're coming out of the Middle East, Yemen, and lots of countries that aren't particularly friendly to us. I'm going to keep you safe. I'm not going to let people hurt you.
Right.
Now, Harris has been busy reaching a larger audience with appearances on 60 Minutes, The View, Howard Stern, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and even the Spotify podcast Call Her Daddy. Trump, on the other hand, is whining to small crowds at his rallies.
There's a reason his campaign doesn't want him to keep doing these rallies. A, he can't fill them the way that he used to, but they also hurt him because the more people hear the crazy, the meanness, the name-calling, they're just over it. It's exhausting. It's not what
They average 82 minutes compared to 45 minutes in 2016. They're tracing like with numbers and statistics, his decline. New York Times said it best. They said the former president's speeches have grown darker, harsher, longer, angrier, less focused, more profane, and increasingly fixated on the past. They went through and had a percentage, like this assessment of all the things he's doing. One of them is he's using 13% more all or nothing terms, which is actually a sign of advancing age. 69% more swear words, so maybe he likes a little dirty. But he goes on and...
dirty I wasn't. I never grabbed anybody by their genitalia.
Trump is now the oldest person running for president. He's an elderly man screaming into a microphone and shitting his pants mid-sentence.
From commerce to labor to FEMA. From commerce to labor to FEMA.
Now, as we all know, Trump is a coward who attacks journalists with personal insults and derogatory language, something that his cult really, really loves. It's truly a shit show circus act playing to the dumbest crowd.
I love the poorly educated.
So because the hosts of The View know that Trump is watching, they thought it would be the perfect opportunity to clap back and call him out for being the weak and insecure man that he really is.
A headline, babe, at your casino, which I might have continued to play had you not run it into the ground.
Exactly.
But it does listen, how dumb are you? You hired me 4 times. You can go to William Morris and get the things, because I know you all are going to be looking for it. So talk to William Morris. You hired me 4 times, and you didn't know what you were getting? How dumb are you?
If you thought that was good, just wait for Sonny's response.
I have a personal legal note.
Yes.
Donald Trump, I want to thank you for personally telling so many lies and committing so many alleged crimes and providing us with material on a daily basis. You help us do our jobs, and I'm so appreciative. Look at people like you, a former prosecutor and legal expert, can become a fixture on a show like this. And again, I'm so grateful. I admit I may not have spent as much time in a courtroom as you have. I was also recognized with a Special Achievement Award by the Department of Justice. You remember the Department of Justice, right? It's the agency that's been pursuing you for decades. And like Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, I've had a history of prosecuting sex offenders. So thank you for keeping people like us in business. And as for dumb questions, you're always welcome to come here and answer some, if sitting so close to a prosecutor won't make you nervous. I'll even give you a free View mug, not to be confused, though, with a mugshot, because that's your area.
Stop! He's already dead.
The United States would be a much safer place without Donald Trump as president. He's a deranged and weak old man who attacks anyone who he doesn't like. I want someone who's going to keep me safe, someone who has experience dealing with criminals like Trump, someone like Kamala Harris. And speaking of keeping us safe, I want to thank today's sponsor, Aura. Today's video is sponsored by Aura, and it's a really important time to be talking about them because hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from National Public Data, which offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. These stolen records include a person's full name, address, date of birth, phone number, and most importantly, social security number. And members of the hacker group have reportedly released this information for free online. I've had my identity stolen before, and it is not fun. You have to report the fraud to credit bureaus, call creditors, freeze your accounts, and then report it to the police. It's a hassle. If you weren't taking precautions with your personal information online before, this should be a huge wake-up call. You've never been more vulnerable online than you are right now. But I'm not worried about it because I use Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to detect and alert you to potential identity theft. They give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. You can go to my link at aura.com/Gabe Sanchez to try 14 days for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. I highly recommend you do this right now because not only is National Public Data not going to do anything to help you, they probably aren't going to face any repercussions for this leak. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/Gabe Sanchez to try 2 weeks for free. Kamala Harris, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin. Notice a pattern here? As we all know, Donald Trump gets very triggered by women, especially accomplished women of color.
Trump actually is one of the people who has a filthier mouth than Whoopi Goldberg. He says words every other word when he's not on television and trained himself to do otherwise, but also he called you a loser. And I would just note, you're an EGOT. He lost the last election and can't admit it. Calling you dumb, he does not have a law degree. You do.
That's true.
But listen, he's triggered
His
by women.
professor said he was the dumbest student he ever had.
Yeah. He's always been triggered by women when they call him out. It's why he has such a challenge with women in this election and why I think they're going to be a deciding factor in when he loses.
But it's Kamala Harris who really gets under Trump's skin.
Tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
It was that moment during their debate that broke Donald Trump's brain.
She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back.
And now Trump still can't accept the fact that he lost the debate.
I want a rematch. I want a rematch. And that's what she said. I want a rematch. polls clearly show that I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris.
Trump is in such denial that he won't do another debate with Harris. He's too afraid of the idea of losing again to a woman of color on live TV. Harris wrecked him so badly that he ran away from a 60 Minutes interview.
Trump backed out. The campaign offered shifting explanations. First, it complained that we would fact-check the interview. We fact-check every story. Later, Trump said he needed an apology for his interview in 2020.
So in response to Harris doing interviews, Trump thought it would be wise to go on the Flagrant podcast, and boy, was that a mistake.
I have a hard time doing it to them because I'm basically a truthful person, but and frankly, no, but frankly,
Basically, and I am a natural redhead who's 29 years old.
What about Mike Pence? You got anything for Mike Pence?
Well, it's a shame because he and I had a very good relationship.
Hanging out somewhere.
He couldn't cross the line of doing what was right, in my opinion.
Donald Trump is not a serious candidate. He's not here to help us. He's only here to divide and destroy what we have built. There's less than 30 days till the election, and Trump's intentions could not be more apparent with how he's denigrating immigrants and spreading lies about hurricane relief. We should be working together, uniting, not dividing. The choice is obvious. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
You have candidates to vote for in this election that demonstrate that kind of character, who know what real strength looks like, who will set a good example and do the right thing and lead this country better than they found it. So, Pennsylvania, that is the choice in this election. It's not just about policies that are on the ballot. It is about values, and it is about character. So whether this election is making you feel excited or scared or hopeful or frustrated or anything in between, do not just sit back and hope for the best. Get off your couch and vote. Put down your phone and vote. Grab your friends and family and vote. Vote for Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States. Vote for Tim Walz as the next vice president of the United States. Vote for Bob Casey and this whole incredible Pennsylvania Democratic ticket. Help your friends and family members and neighbors and co-workers do the same, because if enough of us make our voices heard, we will leave no doubt about the election outcome. We'll leave no doubt about who we are and what America stands for. And together we'll keep building a country that's more fair and more equal and more just and more free. That is our task. That is our responsibility. Let's go do it.
Well, that's a wrap for today. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to follow me at I Am Gabe Sanchez. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to check out the audio version of What Was That, perfect for when you're on the go or just relaxing. Catch every episode wherever you listen to podcasts. So until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?